If you're sitting on this side of the chapel, please read along with the lines that say on the piano side.
And if you're sitting on this side of the chapel, you can read the lines that say the organ side.
God of the lowly, God of liberty.
Rain down your justice, call for jubilee.
Bind up the broken, set the captives free.
Bring in the homeless, help the blind to see.
Call out your people, help us see our sin. Bring us to repentance and never fall again.
Grant us your blessing, mold us in your peace.
Grant us your wisdom, help our warring cease.
Come, God of mercy, break the debtor's chains.
Call down your justice on the wicked's claims.
God of the lonely, God of mystery, God who knows the Lord of solidarity.
Guide us from darkness, guide us from our fears.
Give us your courage, wash away our tears.
Help us to stand for liberty.
Help us to live in solidarity.
Help us to hear cries of captivity. Help us, God, that we may be your jubilee.
God of the lowly, God of liberty.
Rain down your justice, call for jubilee.
Please join with me in the passing of the peace.
Communicate, talk to whoever it is that you call God or whatever philosophy or spirituality that you have. Everything is welcome here. I want to take this time to also encourage you to look in the back of your bulletin and learn about our speaker for today. So thank you for your time, and I hope that you enjoy the service.
Today's scripture is Hebrew chapter 11, verse 23 to 28. By faith, Moses was hidden by his parents for 3 months after his birth, because they saw that the child was beautiful, and they were not afraid of king's edict. By faith, Moses, when he was grown up, refused to be called a son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to share ill treatment with the people of God than to enjoy the fleeting pleasures of sin. He considered abuse suffered for the Christ to be greater wealth than the treasures of Egypt, for he was looking ahead to the reward. By faith he left Egypt, unafraid of the king's anger, for he persevered as though he saw him who was invisible. By faith, he kept the Passover and the sprinkles of blood, so that the destroyer of the firstborn would not touch the firstborn of Israel.
You are welcome to today's service. And if you just maybe indulge us, if you just say this after me, because I want to take you to a different place. And let somebody shout hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
No, that hallelujah is not good enough. It's for man. It's not for God. If you're really here, hallelujah means praise God. And let somebody shout hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Good. Most of you will know my background is Pentecostal, so we start services with praise the Lord, hallelujah. This afternoon, so I want to talk to you about choosing to stand with the powerless. We want to look at what Moses did. He chose to stand with the powerless. And I felt that this Wednesday, coming right after the end of the Black History Month, I felt that is the right team to go. And so, this is Marsh. Black History Month is over, and what have you done? Another year is over, and you look forward to the next. What did you do to fight racism, oppression, and other forms of social injustice? Black History Month is over, but racism is not over. Blacks are still dying in the streets. They are still poor, and many of them are getting poorer. Black lives still do not matter. I'm a tenured professor here with an endowed chair, but my black life does not matter. So this is March. Black History Month is over. And what have we done? We have done nothing. We are waiting. We are gathered in an elite university and waiting for fate, for providence, to bring the struggle for justice to us. We are doing what people with privilege, who have some heart for social justice, have always done in history. We sit in our places of power, pleasure, and treasure, and wait for the struggle to come to us, rather than taking the fight to the sides of social injustice. We are waiting for the struggle to choose us, to awaken us, to sweep us off our feet, rather than choosing the struggle, rather than reawakening America to its moral consciousness. We are waiting, instead of sweeping away the fetters of oppression that hold black people down. We are waiting, but we are not awaiting the end of racism. There was a man who did not wait for the struggle for liberation to nicely come to him, to choose him at his place of power, pleasure, and treasure. He did not wait for the right time to enter into the struggle. He chose the struggle, and only then did God, time, and the struggle retroactively chose him. Moses chose the struggle first before God chose him. This man is Moses, whom the writer of the book of Hebrew presents to us today. Moses did something to effect the liberation of the enslaved Hebrews in Egypt. The passage we read, or the passage that has just been read, tells us what Moses did, the steps that he took. And in the story, I'm reading from the text here from the King James Version, in verse 24, it says, by faith, Moses, when he had come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. So the first thing he refused, he rejected to be placed in a place of privilege. He said he refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. Until you make up your mind to refuse your place of power and privilege, you cannot stand on the side of the oppressed. That's what Moses did. The writer says he refused. It was a deliberate choice. And verse 25 says, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. Positions of power, positions of privilege in Egypt, in Pharaoh's Egypt, and even in America are associated with passing pleasures. But one has to make a choice. And that choice means that you are making a choice not only to stand with the oppressed, you're also making a choice to say, I'm going to suffer affliction. You can't make a choice and say, well, all is going to be right. The Bible says Moses chose rather to suffer affliction with the people of God rather than enjoy the pleasures for a season. He made a choice. Always the attraction to betray the cause, the attraction to neglect the oppressed, the attraction to neglect those who are marginalized means that you have to also pay more attention to your treasures. He said, but Moses did not do that. Because what we are learning here, for you to stand up against a system, you must be ready to understand the place of power in that system, the place of pleasures in that system, and the place of gold, the treasures of that system. It says, verse 26 says, esteeming the reproach of Christ greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. Moses knew that the struggle would involve giving up the treasures of Egypt. We say we're in a place of power in an elite university, and we say we are for the struggle, but we do not want to give up the treasures of what our education has brought for us, what our status have given us, what our color have given to us. But Moses chose to say he rejected not only the power that comes with being Pharaoh's grandson. He rejected the pleasures that will come, the privileges that will come. But the Bible says he also rejected the treasures, the economic benefit of privilege and power. Moses rejected that. And that verse 26 says, he esteemed the reproach of Christ greater. So what does it mean to esteem? It means that the refusal to give in to power, the refusal to be on the path of power was not a blind decision. He sat down and he evaluated it. It was a deliberate choice. The struggle does not choose you. You have to go out and choose the struggle. If you're in a place of power. So he evaluated and knew that if I engage in this struggle, I'm going to lose power, I'm going to lose pleasures, privilege, and treasures. Yet he made that choice. Until you are ready to say no to power, until you're ready to say no to privilege, until you're ready to say no to economic benefit, you cannot stand on the side of the oppressed and the marginalized. And verse 27 says, by faith, he forsook Egypt. By faith, he forsook Egypt. Standing on the side of the oppressed, standing to fight against racism will mean that you have to forsake certain things. You cannot have it both ways. So the process of standing for the oppressed, standing with God to fight oppression, means that you are ready to forsake this. So verse 27 says, by faith he forsake Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible. Yes, there's going to be affliction, there's going to be suffering, but he said he was not afraid of those things. He forsook all those things. And yet, he says, he endured all those things because he looked to see God, who is invisible. You cannot endure the fight in the struggle except you look towards what is invisible today. You cannot do the impossible until you see the invisible. So Moses here was able to say, I'm going to stand up against Pharaoh's army, the greatest civilization of his time, and I'm going to fight for the liberation of the children of Israel, because he saw the invisible. That there's a place of freedom that today is invisible to people. There's a God that is invisible to us, but who stands with the oppressed. And once he saw that invisible realm, then he knew that he can do the impossible. Anyone who cannot see the invisible cannot see and do the impossible. Martin Luther King, long before he knew America was going to come to this stage where at least the obvious and brutal aspect of racism perhaps is a little behind us. He saw the invisible. He said, he had a dream. That dream meant he was seeing the invisible, and therefore he could stand up and fight and do the impossible. Rosa Parks sat down because in that place where she sat down, she saw the invisible. That there will come a time when a man and a woman will be judged not by the skin of by the color of their skin, by the content of their character. That at that point was an invisible thing to see, but he saw it. And Moses saw it. And then it says finally, verse 28 says, through faith he kept the Passover. Moses kept the Passover. The Passover at that initial moment means it was a period, a day of delivery, a day of salvation, a day of freedom. And Moses was able to engage in that practice of freedom. Today we may celebrate it as a holiday, as a ritual. But in that night, when they were about to flee, what they were doing that night was a practice of freedom. They believed that they were about to be free from the clutches of Pharaoh. And by faith, you cannot engage in this struggle for freedom, to end racism, to end all forms of oppression if you don't have the faith. The faith to continue. Even if you don't want to continue, even if I don't want to continue, even if I do not and I cannot continue, but I must continue. That is faith. And so Moses was he refused the pledges, the power, the privilege, and decided to stand with the oppressed. The person who must live in faith must refuse certain things. You must choose to stand. You must choose to enter into the struggle. You don't wait for the struggle to come and meet you. And you must esteem the struggle and its success and its invisible possibilities higher than everything else. And such a person will always stand with the powerless. Be on the side of liberation, emancipation, equality, and life more abundant. And so, once again, I come back and I'm going to end where I started. So this is Marsh. Black History Month is over. And what have you done? Another year is over, and you look forward to the next. What did you do to fight racism, oppression, and other forms of social injustice? Black History Month is over, but racism, oppression, and discrimination, they're not over. Thank you, and God bless you.
Amen.
Let us bow our heads in prayer. Prayers of the People Prayer by Maya Angelou. Father, Mother, God, thank you for your presence during the hard and lean days. For Mrs. Eunice Matthews, who is currently in hospice care after a serious fall. For Douglas Hayward, STH classes of 46 and 50, who passed away February 13th. For them we have you to lean upon. Thank you for your presence during the bright and sunny days. For then we can share that which we have with those who have less. And thank you for your presence during the holy days. For then we are able to celebrate you and our families and our friends. For those who have no voice, we ask you to speak. For those who feel unworthy, we ask you to pour your love out in waterfalls of tenderness. For those who live in pain, we ask you to bathe them in the river of your healing. For those who are lonely, we ask you to keep them company. For those who are depressed, we ask you to shower upon them the light of hope. Dear Creator, you, the borderless sea of substance, we ask you to give to all the world that which we need most, peace. Amen.
of our Lord be with you, and also be with you as you go to your studies and to your places of work. Amen.